Hi, welcome to Oma's No Sugar Kitchen.
Oregano.
It's really easy to make 2 flavors of toasted nuts and keep them in your cabinet as a snack. I have 2 cans of unsalted grocery store brand of shelled peanuts here. But you could use any kind of nuts that you wanted. You could flavor pistachios or walnuts this way. I'm going to use some homemade Cajun seasoning. I make my own mixture, and I use it in a bunch of different dishes. And since I need to make some more anyway, I'm going to show you that recipe, and then we will use it to flavor the nuts. This is my mixture. Now you could adjust the levels for each spice in there, depending on your own tastes, but I use this a lot for a lot of different dishes. So let's make the Cajun spice mixture first. I have some smoked paprika here, and I'm using a ½ tablespoon spoon. So when I put 2 of them in there, it's a full tablespoon of smoked paprika. A ½ tablespoon is really a teaspoon and a half. I have some garlic powder, and because garlic and I don't get along very well, I don't put much, about a ½ teaspoon in there. I have some onion powder. I will put 2 teaspoons of onion powder into the mix. And I will add 2 teaspoons of regular table salt. To that I will add oregano, and it's really a tablespoon of oregano, so it's 3 teaspoonfuls. And then I have some thyme leaves here. Sorry, I forgot to show that to the camera, but I'm adding 1.5 teaspoons of dried thyme leaves. Then I have some black pepper, ½ teaspoon. And then there will be chili powder, 1.5 teaspoons of chili powder. Then I remembered to show it to the camera. Then there's chipotle powder, not much. This adds quite a bit of heat to it, ½ teaspoon. To that I will add some cayenne pepper, also ½ teaspoon. I don't use this as often, so it's not in my regular spice rack, so I keep it in the cabinet. I use that for wings too. And finally, 1.5 teaspoons of red pepper flakes. If you really want some heat, you could bump that up to 2 teaspoons. It wouldn't hurt the spice any. I use a tablespoon to really mix the spice together, and I take the time to press down and break up the herbs a little bit into the rest of the spices before I transfer it to my jar. Here's my Cajun spice recipe for you. As I said, you could adjust the levels of all of these spices to your own tastes. This is just a really good mixture to start with. I'm going to transfer quite a bit of it back into my spice jar. I have a little funnel I can use that really helps the process. And I'm going to leave some in the bowl. We will use that on our flavored nuts. This mixture makes excellent spicy pistachios as well. And you could flavor them the same way I'm doing the peanuts. I'm going to leave about 1 tablespoon to 1.5 tablespoons still in the bowl. That seems to be about the right amount for this many peanuts. I love to use this homemade Cajun spice mixture on dirty rice to make a big pot of that. And now that I have modified my diet to not eat white rice, I use this mixture to make a pot of cauliflower rice, dirty rice, and it works great on that too. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see a video of dirty rice, cauliflower rice, and I'll make one for you. Now it's time to make the Cajun flavored peanuts. So I'm going to open the can of unflavored store brand peanuts and preheat my oven to 350 degrees. Pour them into a bowl that has a tight fitting lid. And I'm going to add a half tablespoon of olive oil. So that's a teaspoon and a half. Sprinkle that around there. And because the Cajun seasoning has salt in it, I don't need to add any salt to this. So about a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half of the Cajun seasoning. Put the lid on really tight and shake it all together. Really get it mixed in there good. You want that olive oil and the spice to go all through them. And we could leave it like that if we wanted to, but I find these are better if I re-roast them in the oven with the spice and olive oil all mixed in. I spread them out on a cookie sheet in one layer. And spread them out really well so there's a little room between them. Then they go into the oven for 8 to 10 minutes. While those are in the oven, let's make the dill flavored peanuts. It's the same concept. I opened the unsalted peanuts from Kroger. And because this spice mixture doesn't have salt added in, I will add some. So it's a half a tablespoon of olive oil, which is a teaspoon and a half. To that I will add a teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of dill, dried dill, and a teaspoon of onion powder. This will help bring up the flavor of the dill. And we will do the same thing. We will cover it over and mix it all together. The reason this idea came about is we were getting flavored nuts from the grocery store, and then when I found out I was a diabetic, I checked the label, and sure enough, quite a few of them had sugar added as well as preservatives. So I decided to make my own. This worked out so well, it's better than the store-bought stuff. We're going to pour these out onto a cookie sheet, just like the Cajun ones, and make them a single layer. And when the Cajun ones come out of the oven, these will go in, also at 350 for 8 to 10 minutes. These make the whole house smell like roasted nuts. It's a wonderful smell. The Cajun ones smell spicy, and the dill ones you can actually tell they're dill. I let these cool completely before I put them right back into the can they came out of, and then I just write the flavor on the can. I recommend giving these a try. They're wonderful. They have no preservatives, it's lower salt content, and no sugar. And they're really good. Thank you for joining me in Oma's Kitchen. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll upload more tasty videos soon, and a special shout out to Moon Pie and Lil Bit. Till next time.